But yeah, I mean, feel a little bad like continuing to just like Gwent after Gwent after Gwent. But then again, feel like if we don't do it now, then we're gonna forget who we. Same thing, where we have and haven't gone, who we have and haven't played Gwent with, I should say. So I mean, it's here now, so let's do
If we
it.
get some cards in too, I'll be a happy man.
Oh my god, his face.
Like elves very much.
But yeah, I hope you were ready for some Gwent because yeah, there's definitely been a lot of that, and there will be more still. But you know what? We're picking up good cards. I think we're doing reasonably well. We've only lost once in recent history. So, what do we have this time around? It's also, I suppose, good in that it gets us in the Gwent frame of mind, keeping us fresh. So we do have Scorch, and that is, well, at times it's been great, but it's been difficult to optimize this. We have the Decoy, we have Commander's Horn, we have a Spy and a Medic. Okay, so we have Decoy plus Medic, makes a lot of sense. Spy, and we don't have a lot of range, or a lot of siege, actually. Ballista, Medic, who's going to be in and out a little bit, even now we're going to use the Decoy. One siege expert is not great, so I think we probably want to reroll Zoltan here. Get the siege nerf. No thanks. Swapped it over and got, it's not a great hand. Or at least, the reroll wasn't great. We started off with some decent things. 4 infantry is pretty terrible. That's good. This is a Northern Realms person we're playing against here. But yeah, this is the guy who gets double strength if you play 2 of them in the same row. Except we don't have another one. And same thing with this guy. At least this guy does start with 5 strength, which is roughly the same as our average unit, whereas this guy is only 4, which is a little bit less, so that's why I was saying not great to roll directly into that. Also going to be kind of tough to use Scorch when our opponent's first card is a 1 strength unit, so we could maybe... How do we make it so that we get rid of as many units as possible, or make it so that we're not getting rid of our own units here? We could play a 1 strength unit ourselves and go with Siege this go round, but I don't think that's advisable, seeing as how we are, again, going to want to try to play as much in the Siege row at the same time as possible to take most advantage of our ability to double our Siege row with our leader ability. So, we could preemptively play Commander's Horn in, say, which row would we prefer? Probably range, in order to double this guy and this guy. I think that is probably the best way to go here. That way, we're not playing any cards here, so whatever our opponent plays, we can Scorch it off. I mean, getting rid of the infantry is not a lot. Oh, well. That doesn't really help. We could use the Decoy to steal this spy, because this is a good spy. Just 1 strength on the spy is very nice. So I feel like maybe we do take that. That does bide our time a little bit more. So we're hoping our opponent plays a stronger card that we can Scorch. They keep playing spies! Okay, I mean, we don't want to Scorch our own spy. We could replay their spy. Or we could play our stronger and therefore not quite as good spy. I feel like we probably do want to go that route now. Match spy with spy. Does mean that they will take a bit of a lead here, but we drew another decoy. We could... Oh, man. Okay, so this is interesting now. They have passed. This is way too early for them to pass because we can do any of a number of things here. Play 1 card in the range row, we win. And we will have, well, we will have invested a little bit more in the way of cards than our opponent. So you know what? I think what we do is we play, what would this lead us to? This would put us at 8 strength. So we would have the lead. And then if we stole the spy, I'm wondering if we steal the spy, do we play one of our own spies? What is actually mathematically the best answer here? Well, we could actually delete their spy, which we were talking about trying to put that to good use, and suddenly we would be winning if we did that. And in fact, we could turn right around and play our own spy and still be winning. Yeah, and you know what? I think that is probably the answer. If we do this, destroy their spy, now we're winning. Which means we can play our own spies, or maybe even redraw a spy. No, let's not redraw a spy yet, because we're going to want to play this one here. And that allows us to draw more cards while still being in the lead. And we got, what, Vesemir, who's a 6. That's not bad. And another siege card, which is good, because we'll want to double those in a future round. So we did, of course, have to play a Commander's Horn that we're ultimately not going to put to much use here. But I think it still worked in that it wasn't so much the doubling we were trying to do as much as we were trying to get our opponent to commit early. And they did. They passed really early. So is there anything else we can do to take further advantage of this? We could bring back our own spy again. Or actually steal their spy, I should say. And then proceed to play it and draw even more cards, and then we play one card in the range row in order to get that doubled and still take the lead. Let's do some quick mental math here. That means we play this card here, the decoy, that's one card. We play so we lose one card there. We play the spy and draw 2, so that means we play 2, gain 2, net 0. Then we'd still need to play one more card, the range card, in order to take the lead. So that means we gain 2, but we invest 3, so we are on net still losing cards there. So I think we do not go that route here, unless my mental math is wrong, but I think that means we pass. Take the victory for round 1, and we will, of course, draw an additional card, because we did win the round. And what did we get for it? Did we get another Commander's Horn? So maybe we get a bit of a refund for having invested in one of those early, and potentially, you know, having to burn it when it wouldn't have been ideal to have had to have burned it, but it worked out. So, or was it Sheila? When did we draw Sheila? I don't remember having her initially, but okay, so question is, do we go all in this round, or do we wait around? Our opponent does, of course, have 11 cards, as do we, so we don't have any card advantage. Though we do... I thought we had a spy. Oh no, we were talking about potentially stealing the spy, and we opted not to. So, I was gonna say, maybe we play the spy and then deliberately do that just to spare us some... or get some more cards for round 3 and have card advantage for that. But, this is actually a little bit of a tough one. Although we have taken round 1, yes, it's not like we also have card advantage to go along with it, or any major cards to carry over. We do still have Medic plus Decoy. Maybe that's enough of a reason to still feel confident in going hard this round. Yeah, let's maybe try that. So if we go Medic, and then we bring back the Spy, actually, so you know what? Maybe that isn't the worst idea after all. Let's do that. Medic into Spy. We might end up... well, we draw the cards from that, right? We could Decoy, bring back said Medic, and then we could even pass here after doing that, keeping all of our best cards and still having card advantage. Our opponent will draw an additional card after winning this round. If we go that route, let's see what they do here. I mean, passing would be a very bold strategy. They have their own Medic. That's unfortunate. They also play a Spy, and a good one at that. It's the one that we really liked, that we stole previously. We do still have one card advantage. If we pass here, then we would no longer have one card advantage, because our opponent would win the round. We'd be tied 12-12. So we'd be pretty much leaving things where we left off. How do we feel about that? We do have a 1 to 11 strength disadvantage after doing this, so means that maybe it is still best to pass here. Is there anything else we could do to... yeah, I think we do that. Because then we do still have the Medic is our advantage here, in that the Medic is functionally kind of like a 2 cards in 1. Because we play it and we get another card back, and what would it be at this stage? Well, it would be actually the Spy, of all things, except that is a really good card. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to be able to play that from our graveyard in round 3. Other thing that comes to mind is maybe doing a nerf in the melee row, because our opponent does have several cards there, and it's, of course, investing further in this round, yes, but it might be enough to make our opponent play another really good card. So what we're trying to do is make it so that our opponent burns through all their good cards right now, and then we don't. We play our bad cards, our throwaway cards, so that in round 3 we have only our best cards remaining, our opponent has only their worst cards remaining, so even if we're looking at the same total number of cards, we still have an advantage in that sense. That's it's a little bit hard to predict, of course, and the melee nerf can be great. We saw in a recent fight that actually was very much the difference maker, but does that pay off here? One of the reasons why I'm thinking we potentially do that now is because we have a lot of melee cards ourselves. Between these guys here, they're a pair that will become 8 apiece, since they double when we play them both together. Vesemir is also melee, so we don't really want to nerf ourselves in that way. So that's part of the reason why I think this is sort of a throwaway card, and we might as well use it here. Let's do it. We want our opponent to say, oh my goodness, just nerfed one of our best cards, let's play a good one. And that's a card that exists, but in many ways is also a throwaway card of sorts. So that's not really what I was looking for. And we are, I mean, it's kind of like even Stevens in that we played a not so great card, they played a not so great card. So, I mean, our card was actually bad, in that it would have made us worse off than not having played that card at all. Whereas their card does still provide at least some benefit. So I think we did get a slight benefit out of having gone that extra round. But at this point, I think we probably do pass, because we could play a Siege Expert of our own. However, that guy would, of course, boost how many units? 1, 2, 3 other units. So he would have collectively 4 strength, really. It gets doubled into an 8 once we use our leader ability, which is... that's something. To throw away 8 strength, that's probably not something we want to do here. So I think we do pass. And I mean, if our opponent, maybe they play a spy, which would be not so great. Okay, good, they don't. It'll be 11-11. Same amount of cards apiece. And we just hope that our cards are better than their cards, basically. That's pretty good. Of course, everyone's going to play all their cards, so I don't think there's much reason to... well, I guess we could still deliberately play our worst cards first, so that if they do have a Scorch and opt to remove something, then it's not going to be one of our stronger cards. In which case, yeah, we probably start with a Siege Expert. It's only 1 strength. Okay. We obviously don't have a Scorch ourselves. So let's continue to play things that are lower than 8. I mean, everything is going to be lower than 8 until we start playing things in the Siege row and doubling those, or playing the Commander's Horn in a different row. So I'd like to see that they have a lot of 4 strength units, because those aren't great. We can definitely outplay those. Okay, that is the leader ability that makes a range nerf, which is interesting, because it did affect us slightly more than it affected our opponent, but it was pretty darn close. So, I mean, we could, of course, play another range card. That does mean that we're probably going to want to double melee rather than double range with our Commander's Horn, which was going to be closest to which one we wanted to do. So what do they opt to do here? They continue to play in the range row as well. So now what we do is either I think we play the medic and use that to take the spy back and play that, draw 2 more cards. It's probably best. Otherwise, we start to throw some things in the melee row, I think. Let's go with the medic. We take this, we take Taller. Draw 2 cards from that. And we get Roach and another spy. Very interesting. Zoltan, 5 strength unit. Nothing too special about him. So I think that Roach is pretty safe to play pretty much whenever, because I don't think there's anything that can affect him at all because he is a hero. So let's do that. How does our opponent react? They're loading up on siege. Now, they do not have the leader ability that allows them to double siege. They may have a Commander's Horn. And also, bear in mind, Commander's Horn will not double Roach. So there is that downside. But he's at least a safe-ish card to play. And playing a card with 4 strength in order to get 2 more cards, I think is still worthwhile here. I think we probably do play our Spy next. Hope that we get some good stuff here. Got another siege card, so that in and of itself pays off. 8 strength, it is our strongest one, and it will get doubled. And we got another Commander's Horn, which is not great, because we're going to end up using that now. If we have one for every row, we're going to end up using our last one on range row, and doubling a bunch of 1 strength units is not going to be all that much. Could even do that right now. Again, with the idea being we don't want to make any of our, or play any of our big cards just yet in case our opponent has a Scorch. We want to do it as late as possible so that they have to use that Scorch before our strong units are out there, and it basically has no effect, or in this case would actually remove their own unit. So the longer we can delay, the better. And in fact, I think we will be able to play enough units so that if they do have a Scorch card, they're going to have to play it before we play our 8 or double anything such that it is strong enough for that to suddenly be the target of said Scorch. So for that reason, I think we're looking pretty good here. So any 6s should be safe. We can play Vesemir there. Trebuchet, that's fine. Now the only question is your last card a Scorch? It's not going to matter here because when we play this, it's going to be a 7. So you would still remove your own card, and presumably you would just pass and not play it altogether, which may be what just happened. And that means that we definitely will take the lead here. So we'll double up with those guys. That's their ability. We'll use a Commander's Horn in the melee row to double them further. Roach, of course, does not get doubled because he's a hero. Then we'll play the rest of our cards in the siege row, and this is the one that we were deliberately waiting on. We didn't want to double melee yet, because we knew that if we did, then suddenly that would be a target of the Scorch, and these guys would both get deleted if we had them both down. And if we played this guy, then he was starting off as an 8, and the Siege Expert would boost him up to a 9, so he would have been the highest unit as well. Scorch would have gotten rid of that one. So we deliberately delayed as long as possible playing those cards, and with all that stuff, we get up to 120. So there you have it. Took care of that guy. He pushes us away as well. Seems like this is becoming a bit of a common theme. Dennis Cranmer? I think that was green. I don't recognize the name, but I'm pretty sure that means that will be Scoia'tael. Dennis Cranmer. This guy here. 6 strength, melee. It's not bad. Again, it's like slightly above average, so at this rate, we're still mostly just looking to build out our Scoia'tael deck with enough reasonable cards to be able to make a case for playing a Scoia'tael. So that gets us a little bit closer. That's locked. Okay. Were other horses that we were, I believe, able to just hop on and potentially steal? So this is the place where we put our marker before, just to be an indicator as to the general route we were thinking we might want to take. Let's take a look whether we can go in here. Yes, we can. Pretty sure that's a Redanian flag. Oh, we can loot. Read that before. New music as well, I think? I don't think we've heard this yet. Small room, though. Okay. Anything else over here? Loot? Can we take it? No, that's a fire... Eternal fire person. Not a guard, so we should be in the clear here. Lesser Glyph? That's not bad. Okay. Dodge roll while we're at it. Extra style points. Moving here? No. Okay. This is the shopkeeper we were just speaking to, so nothing new there. Little alley here. This sounds like something's happening here. Captain of the guard. It's another fighting circle of sorts. I might. Is there a bookkeeper of sorts? There we go.
Geralt of Rivia.
It matters not what you're called, it matters not where you're from. What matters is if you're prepared to fight Captain Mortimer!
Oh. Yeah, who organizes these fights, I guess?
Who organizes these fights?
Tournaments like this have been held in Skellige, Velen, and Novigrad for ages. Each region has its own champion.
Okay.
Novigrad's is the tailor. Defeat Mortimer, and you'll gain the right to challenge him.
Okay, did you just speak, or refer to yourself in the third person? It did really seem like it. So, I don't think we've officially heard word of any of these fights yet in the Novigrad area, however, this would presumably be one of them. And so, apparently the tailor is the head honcho, the champion of Novigrad, and this guy, I mean, in Velen there were 2 non-champions and 1 champion, right? Or am I thinking of Gwent? I think it might have been also the case with fist fighting. So there's this guy. I would suspect there's probably one other person who's not yet the champion, or who is just not the champion. And so we haven't seen that person yet, or heard of that person. So sure, we can still fight this guy. It just seems like we might kind of sort of be doing this out of order. I'm not sure that it really matters, but...
I'm ready. Let's do this.
47, I think, is a lot. This guy could be quite tough, I think. Usually they throw a punch immediately. He's level 21. Wow, okay. So look out, basically. Block this. You're blocking a lot.
Lost your nerve?
I tried to sneak in an attack there, but you were a little quick. Can I dodge? No? I can't remember if that was a thing or not. Yeah, Geralt, I would love if your quick punches were actually, you know, like, quick enough to you know, like, say, sneak him in, and also, like, not get wailed on. Punch after punch. Okay, like, also, I'm trying to move away from him to avoid that hit. Geralt is, insisting on not doing that.
Troops, here now!
I also recognize that line from Gwent. Again, Geralt, you gotta be a little bit faster, buddy. It's not helping. When this guy just, like, always beats you to the punch in more ways than one. In more ways than one. Like this. Oh, look at that! So close.
Geralt of Rivia dethrones Captain Mortimer! Behold your prize champion! Archibald O'Neill is one you might face now.
Okay. Nice. 25 experience.
One word and they'll clap you in the stocks.
94 crowns is not bad either. We're extremely close to leveling, even more than we were before. Does that say give us the actual quest for fighting people in Novigrad that I don't think we had before? Oh, Fist of Fury, was this... Oh, actually, we have already fought one of these guys before. I take it back. Now, Archibald is... Well, it says level 23 quest. That guy's probably level 23. The one that we just fought was, what, 21? That was, as you just saw, a bit difficult. So we might want to wait a little bit before we try taking on that last guy there. And it might be time for us to go back to trying to make our way into that house. But like I was saying, I'd prefer to just find a little bit more time on that front. Maybe continue exploring this area down here. This looks like it might be a little bit of a dead end, though. Well, maybe not. Suppose we can probably go up here. Anyone else to say anything of note to us, or are you just random townspeople? Seems like that is probably the case. Can we go into any of these buildings? Can we loot this? Maybe, but also, like, the guy that we just beat up, is he gonna care? I don't think so. This is back to us. Although, yeah, like, if he tries to fight us, well, we know what's gonna happen, right? We can take him out. Yeah, I think that's just about it in this area, so let's head up this staircase.
The second sword, is it in case the first one breaks?
Yes, the second sword is in case the first one breaks, indeed. This is cool. Guys, also playing Gwent? Gwent doesn't have any dice. What are you doing? We've been to this area before? I don't think so. We were probably still further east than we've ever really been. Yeah, This is starting to go a little bit further north. Don't through here. There are guards right there. These also guards. Well, these are townsfolk. Could theoretically take stuff right now, but also maybe not a great idea. This building here. Definitely looting here.
Who can afford a witcher in this day and age?
I don't know. You tell me. I'd like to talk to them. Get upstairs. Maybe there's something more up there. Opposition in Nilfgaard. Huh. Not sure we've read that one. While Nilfgaard's emperor wields absolute power, partially crushing the slightest sign of disobedience, opposing forces continue to exist within the empire. By this, I do not mean the disgruntled leaders of conquered provinces, but the magnates within the city of 1,000 towers, who are unhappy with the current leadership. This conflict between the emperor and the noble houses of Nilfgaard, the noble houses of Nilfgaard, the capital, dates. That's definitely missing a word. Back many years. All the princes of the blood and magnates expected their ruler to wed one of their daughters and sire an heir with one of their own. The emperor, however, had other plans. This proved a slap in the face for all the great families from which he refused to take a bride. The Nilfgaardian opposition patiently waits for the emperor to slip up, for some event to occur which will weaken his authority, be it an economic crisis or a defeat in battle. A secret conspiracy lies ready to seize such a moment to incite the disaffected, assassinate the emperor, and carry out a coup d'etat, culminating in one of their own number ascending to the throne. Wow. Okay. That's, important to know, I suppose. Nilfgaard is, of course, waging war on the north, yes, which is very relevant, but at least Emir, the current emperor, is kinda friendly with us, what with him, trying to get us to track down Ciri and all that. But if someone else were to take power and is just there to destroy the north and does not have that other professional relationship with us, then, well, that's, probably wouldn't go too well between us and them. But who knows? Sorry. One moment while I take your alcohol. Seems like that's everything in here. Let's head on down. Was there anything else over here that we wanted to take note of? Let's maybe place a new marker as to where we want to go next. Yeah, because this is further north, and I don't necessarily think we want to go that way. I think we more so just want to go across the southern edge of this area along the river, flashing along the wall. Let's see what else we find here. There is a very tall staircase here. Go in here? No. Darn it. I was intrigued. Other things happening in this square slash circle of sorts? Hello.
Yeah. The eternal fire will guide us.
What about here? Also locked. And this is like directly above your head. Now there are also guards over there. So yeah, probably best not to tempt fate. What about over here? This is interesting. Huh. What is the deal? Where is this supposed to go? There's a door here, but it is locked. People over there? Perhaps?
See what I do.
Other stuff? Maybe? Maybe not. Staircase?
This house.
Here? Yes, we can. Do you have anything notable to loot? Well, kinda, sorta. Apples. Are you okay? Let's check upstairs. That could be a nice place to loot. Well, we've certainly read about what shall become of Temeria many times before. And we may even have our fair share of baked potatoes as well. The alcohol, though. We never have enough of that. Is there still more here? It's still lighting up. I mean, it's telling us we want to extinguish this fire. I mean, sure, we can do that, but not so much what I'm concerned about. This, however, it's just thread. Okay. Let's head on out then. See what else we can find.
You see what I do?
And yeah, we want to head in this general direction. That's what we find here. We'll see if there are more buildings. This looks significant, but yeah, it is locked. Right? Doesn't that look like that doorway has a little more to it? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into that. Oh, this one, I suppose, is the same type of architecture. Okay.
Hey, there are mouse droppings in this bread. Droppings.
Anything else over here? This does seem like it opens up a little bit. This area too. What's that sound? Are you breathing over here? Are you okay? That's some kind of poster praising Radovid. We've definitely read that before. These boots here. Anyone to get mad at us if we take them? I don't think so. Let's do it. No alcohol? Great. We'll proceed to not use it and just sell it. For very little coin at that. Allspice is actually probably better than all those things. This. More. And more. And more still. More allspice though. Also works. Can we actually go through here? Seems like, based on how that has the color around it, there might be some significance to that. I don't know. I mean, the quest stuff tends. Okay. Anything in this corner? Doesn't seem like it. Let's head back over here. Get him at Gwent. That'll be our telltale sign.
For all comers.
No one to push.
Yeah, I remember Carol doing
Very
that.
good. Manners before.
Check out another spot of the city, or try to make our way back over here. Let's see. So if we don't go there, then we could head up to this notice board that we obviously have not yet looked at, and there's many things over here, many buildings we've not gone into. This area, even a little bit further west as well. That could give us good direction as to what is next on our priority list. But yeah, I do wonder to a certain extent, and maybe we'll just focus on making our way straight to her. Running. Not really insight here. I guess. Into
Who drowned in the River Fanny?
Dandelion.
Yes. At any rate, the Kingfisher welcomes poetry lovers with open arms. Some of the
5 strength units. Muster, bringing everything of that kind onto the playing field. That could be good. Agile, I believe, means, yeah, you can play it in either close combat or range. Then maybe we see if, in the meantime, have we picked up any other furs and other junks of that sort. Yeah, like white wolf hide. Get rid of that. Pig hide. So we can't play you at Gwent. Is there anyone else in here? We did, of course, hear word of Dandelion, and it does make me wonder if we might find him in and around here somewhere.
I'm signing up. Stakes are going to be high. Could win a life-changing fortune.
All I know is that when they dangle a fortune to win before you, it's even easier to lose one.
That may be. Looks like these guys are actually playing Gwent.
Got so fucked up once.
Anyone that we should take note of?
You see what I do?
Do you seek to get me drunk, sir?
If I was seeking to get you drunk, madame.
Anyone who
you
might
would not
say
be
have a
drinking
quest for
to
us?
lift
Who are you?
Either not.
You're a bard.
Minor or
expensive.
demon.
I
Calm
don't know.
down. What is it? I really thought witches
Let's
would look
see
more...
what we can find upstairs. Excuse me, am I not witchery enough for you? Do say more. You. You have your own unique name.
Yes?
I feel like we've seen this name before. Yeah, why does that sound familiar?
Count Kurt Dysart
Are you here regarding the contract?
Ooh, which one?
wanted to hire a witcher, didn't you?
This is probably not
I
a
did,
contract
but
we're looking to
just
pursue right
any
now. It's
rag
probably too
ball.
high level for us.
One hears all manner of stories about the lunatics of the School of the Cat. Which do you belong to?
None of your concern. Or lie, or say what it actually is. I suppose we could say what it actually is. I don't remember if we have any reason to be concerned about this guy knowing personal information about us, but then again, we do have a wolf amulet hanging from our neck right now. It is plainly visible. I don't really think we're fooling anybody here.
School of the Wolf.
Ah, yes. A good one. I knew a witcher of this school. Barnabas? No. Though his name did begin with a B. Never mind. To the matter at hand. Not long past, I acquired an estate east of Novigrad. I got it on the cheap, you see. The seller was very keen to be rid of it. Now, I've learned the building is said to be haunted.
Yeah, you know, that's
Goes
probably
to
why.
explain the seller's urgency.
I do not believe in ghosts. It is that simple.
Well, we
But
got
my men say
got
the
a
house shakes at
story
night.
or two for you.
Walls crumble. Why, even the floors move about. Is there anything to be done? A remedy for this?
Yeah, hire a witcher. Let's talk about the reward first.
Let's talk about my reward first.
Although we maybe should have said
I
like
beg your
maybe
pardon?
later. That might have been the
Ask
third
him
option there, which
for
probably
it,
would have been
Lord
preferable.
But you've
Now
not
this
done
is
the
probably too high
job.
level for us.
Need to make sure it's worth my time.
Just look at that. Arrives in Novigrad and he's off his head in minutes. Very well. How much do you believe this should cost me?
Okay, and in terms of price, I mean, it's not like it's way higher than other contracts we've seen before, so if that's any indication of how difficult the quest is supposed to be, then... okay.
No.
Too high, but...
I'm afraid that's too much. But we're near a price I would consider reasonable.
I don't actually know if we should read into that at all. That actually means we're close. How about this?
Yes. Agreed.
Okay. Can we still say farewell, though? Because...
So long.
I'd like to maybe hold off for the time being and Kurt Dryset or whatever is his name, and can we perhaps confirm which Witcher contract that is? It is this one. Door slamming shut level 24. That is definitely, I mean, of the Witcher contracts, that's high-ish. If anything, like Byways Murders is... Maybe we could sneak past that one. Mysterious Tracks definitely is the one that we would want to do next, though. But we were, for the most part, trying to get at least one more level first. Councilman, other townspeople. Oh, balcony. Cool. Is there anything out here, though? I mean, part of me is tempted to try to jump that, yes, but that probably wouldn't end well. So probably best if we don't. Because yeah, we've tried that sort of thing before. It usually, yeah. Usually we end up just splatting on the ground somewhere. Oh. Oh, that looks so dramatic. I was expecting better. Better than just this junk. Slaughter of Sintra. Over here in Povis, definitely read that. Horse Whistler, not sure we've read that one. Other balcony. Now let's read this real quick. Oh, we definitely have. It's a little bit higher and theoretically maybe slightly more feasible to make that jump. However, probably would just hurt ourselves even if we did successfully make it. And where do we go from there? It's not like this is supposed to be some kind of parkour sequence, I don't think. So, it does seem as though the game is trying to continue to tempt me. This appears to be locked, unfortunately. This, however, is not. What do we have here, then? Food. Sure. But what else? Selected person. Gonzal did. For sale? Don't think we've heard this one. Love. Love is to build a house of cards, or play a game of chess. Not gonna lie, I thought that was gonna finish with Gwent. But a one wrong word or ill-thought move, and you must start it all afresh. That almost is no, it's not a haiku. It's not even close to haiku. What am I saying? Tide. Whenever I watch the tide recede, cold coils of fear rip round my heart. Will the seas sneak back, calm and sure, in the dark of night, as they have before? Or will they stay on distant shores, leaving crushed shells and washed up dreams, as memory of serfs of yore? I don't know. Chronicles of Redania. Again, I think we did pick that up recently, though I don't know if we've actually read it. Bridank the Elf. Despite what one might conclude from his moniker, not one drop of elven blood flowed from King Bridank's veins. They called him the Elf because of his exceptional beauty, and for the great admiration he felt for the Anshe. His fascination, seemingly harmless, would have horrible long-term consequences. King Bridank, spitting in the face of all laws and customs, chose his wife as a half-elf, and one of low status at that, known as Beatrix of Cobir. The fruit of his regrettable and short-lived word in French that I don't know how to pronounce was Falca, who later fomented bloody revolt against her own father. Though his uprising was ultimately extinguished and Falca herself burned at the stake, the young state was thereafter thrown into chaos for years to come. This is Redania. Wow. I mean, of course, nowadays, well, it's kind of in chaos because, you know, what with the whole Nilfgaardian stacking, but Radovid is king. I wonder how long ago that was. I think we even heard word of Radovid's father, also Radovid, presumably was the person who preceded him. So I would assume then that those people came before Radovid Sr. Okay, I don't think I'm seeing anything else up here. Oh, except have we tried this door yet? No. Oh, yes. Yes, we have. Get back. Was there another door over here, though? No, that's just a wall. Just a wall, I'm afraid, and this does not lead out into a balcony or anything of that sort, so... Okay, I think we are done up here in this case. I totally thought we could bash through that, because I thought that was also a door, but no, this is the staircase that we need to go down.
I've been cranky since morning.
Sorry? Okay.
Do you seek to get me drunk, sir?
So no dandelion sightings, it doesn't seem. Word of him, yes. Oh. Up here with the other bards.
It's too expensive.
Well, well, what have we here?
I don't know, someone interrupting your performance, it seems. Can't talk to this guy? How dare you? It's like he doesn't want us to interrupt his performance. Is there any reason why we can't loot that? Well, there's someone opening a door in our face. Let's take this, though. And this as well, ideally. Except Geralt just wants to parkour kick it, rather than actually loot it. Maybe this time? There we go. All for the water. Oh, yeah. Even more water. And bread. And alcohol that we have a bazillion of. Dimmelford's dust is actually legitimately good, though. Okay. Then, oh, alright, this was the stuff we were saying we potentially wanted to loot earlier. That lady was staring at us as we did it, but what are you gonna do about it? Absolutely nothing. That's how we get out? I think so. Yep. Okay, and now, admittedly, I have lost my bearings a little bit here. We were saying we were going to go up to the notice board, I believe. In which case we were headed north for this marker. We'll probably go a little bit to the side here in order to go this way. I was originally saying we would, for the most part, just go straight to this notice board, and that way we don't have to concern ourselves too much trying to remember which rooms we have and have not been into. This is a nice part of the city, though. This looks very cool. To the architecture.
I must say,
Golden something? Yeah, what does that sign say? I am curious. Very elaborate. Barber. Really? Golden barber? Yeah, pretty successful farmer. Here is our notice board, though. Novigrad Gildor? The notice board is right here, in fact.
My daddy's a witch hunter and chases old crows.
Most honorable townspeople, please remember to warn any passers-by who might currently be found beneath your window or emptying out your chamber pots. Pretty sure we saw a similar notice like that previously. Warning. To the clever dude who's taken to relieving himself, we've also seen this one too. Wanted hot-burning firewood. Church of the Eternal Fire seeks to purchase firewood of the highest quality. Any man who can supply such product will not only be generously compensated, but will also aid the fight against heresy and bleachery. I don't know. For the wood will be used to build the pyres upon which mages and others shall, or other such filth, will be incinerated. His Excellency, Purus Engelkind Himmelfart, Hierarch of the Church of the Eternal Fire, okay. Notice of the death of Joachim Swan. Honorable town dwellers, I deeply regret to inform you about the untimely death of Joachim Swan, tax collector who had served our fair city for many years. The ceremonial cremation of his remains will take place at the end of the current month. The Council of the Free City of Novigrad, P.S. Since Joachim Swan's family did not wish an address to be made known, please address all condolences to City Hall. P.S. Please refrain from sending letters of a derogatory nature. He is a tax collector, so I suppose there are probably people who are not so keen to see him when he was, asking them to pay up. Weights and measures. In light of the continual quarrels distracting our market stallholders from their primary business of doing business, let me remind you of the officially endorsed weights and measures used in Novigrad. 1 fathom equals 3 ells, 1 ell equals 2 feet, 1 foot equals 12 inches, 1 gallon equals 4 quarts, 1 bushel equals 8 gallons, 1 barrel equals 4 bushels, 1 pound equals 16 ounces, 1 stone equals 25 pounds, 1 hundredweight equals 4 stones. We will be quizzing you tomorrow. It is requested that all sellers and buyers use this system of measurements. Plates concerning transactions made in other measurements will be summarily dismissed. Okay? Portrait artist wanted. I am in need of a portrait artist to paint a likeness of my beloved daughter. A portrait is needed in order to finalize the betrothal contract in which she is to enter with a young man from Kovir. Note that the canvas should be ornamented without an exaggerated emphasis on realism, concentrating instead on bringing out my darling's character. That's... I'm sorry. But it does seem as though there are perhaps no new contracts from that. However, this does seem to be another shopkeeper of sorts. You have quite the hat.
Don't be shy now. Looking doesn't cost a thing. There's plenty to behold. This here's a collection of wonders that belong to the mage Eramas. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Huh?
How do you get a hold of these? Never heard of a mage willingly parting with his treasures?
No one asked Eramas' will. He was burned at the stake a fortnight ago.
Oh.
Strange they didn't burn his stuff with him. Witch hunters let you resell it just like that?
Why wouldn't they? These are common goods, some valuable only as collectibles, perhaps.
That's strange, but sure. Tell me
All
about
right,
the
I get
artifacts.
it. These items aren't actually common.
Rumor has it, each is an enchanted key.
Huh?
Rumor happened to mention where to find the locks these keys open?
Sadly, no. What if I knew? You could hardly expect me to sell them.
Where did Eramas live?
At a lovely residence south of Oxenford. Badly damaged now, as he made the hunters pay dearly for his skin.
Show me what you have.
Does that mean, like, treasure hunts? I don't know. This is an elven crossbow. I don't think we've seen any of those before. What is this? Potion of clearance? Turns all ability points spent to develop abilities to the available pool so that you can redistribute them. Okay, that's interesting. I was actually wondering if there would be an item that did anything like this, so that way you can, yeah, redistribute if you feel like you invested in skill points that you didn't necessarily want. It is pretty expensive, 1,000, yeah, 1,000 coins, so, I mean, that is 1/11th or so of what we have, which is not ridiculous. Not necessarily feeling like we need to do something like that right now, but it's good to at least know that it exists, in case that's of interest in the future. And yes, there are definitely items here that are required to complete quests, and I don't know if we should preemptively take them right now. I feel like more likely I would rather hold off and wait to see if and when somebody says, like, yes, go pick up these items and then we'll be directed to this exact location, because I'm assuming that otherwise we would be jumping the gun a bit on those quests. So I think, yeah, we probably pass for now. I mean, I was expecting, like, maybe if they were just, like, outright treasure maps, like we've seen some shopkeepers sell, then it might have been worth picking those up. Because those tend to be more like, no strings attached, just get a new quest, there's no preamble that you might be missing.